I've got the intro again.
Oh my days.
Can we just copy and paste? Hello everybody, this is halfway through qualifying. We are the BUSR, this is our winter series, round number 6. We're here at Malaysia, we're trying this again. This is the second time we're starting this. So if we sound like we're repeating ourselves, it's because we are. We've just been talking into the ether for the last 10 minutes. It's going to be a cracking 2 races at Malaysia. Points are very close at the top of the standings between Lorenzo and Aiden. As our lap times, we're seeing our first runs in qualifying. Lorenzo set an absolutely blistering provisional pole of a 2-minute 8.8. Aiden is nearly a full second back at a 2-minute 9.5. Then it's John B, Jordan Pinnock, Thomas Hughes, Josh Hughes, Archie O'Leary, Raul Yagas, Adam Bent and Vien Tran make up the top 10. Conclusion, there we go. We're back up to speed. Let's carry on like nothing happened.
Right, yeah, let's carry on and not let my photographic memory cause me to lose sleep tonight. Yes, but yeah, no, it's been cracking so far. Lorenzo and Aiden, as expected, in the top 2. John B, who's been making quite a bit of a name for himself, especially in the past 3 sessions, is up there in 3rd place, followed by Jordan Pinnock, who's a bit of a dark horse in this race. And yes, Raul Yagas, Jessman G, and Meet the Teacher are 3 debut racers. 2 of them, at the very least, are in the F1 section of BUSR as well. Of course, Sepang here is an F1 track, so you know whether or not that'll carry over, it's up for debate. But yeah, no, right. I'm a bit speechless at that, but you know we'll carry it on. At least this happened in qualifying and not the actual race itself, as we're about halfway through. Still following Aiden Larson through this massive twisty set of bends here, as he is going to be coming around that big start-finish hairpin going into the straight. We'll see if there's any sort of improvement. I mean, judging by the timetable here, it doesn't look like it will be any improvement. Yeah. Not even close, but he's still 653 thousandths out of the pole position. Of course, he can make that up in the race.
Yeah, that was an outlap from Aiden, so we're going to see quicker laps coming from him as we go forward. The points gap at the top is only 4 points between Lorenzo and Aiden, which means that pole position is a 6 point well, it's going to be a point swing no matter what happens in qualifying, because it's 6 points for pole, 5 for second and further down. So right now Lorenzo would stretch his massive championship advantage up to 5 whole points, which is so many points. So yeah, it does matter. Every session matters, even though in the race I'm sure the order will change after all this is at Monaco. It's unlikely, well, it's not going to change too much because of qualifying, but it will definitely change. So there is a reason to fight for every last second here, as Lorenzo sets a not optimal lap time, 2 minutes 9.5. He knows there's room. His middle sector was weak, but his first sector was incredibly rapid. So he's definitely got more lap time in him. He just needs to put the lap together now. We're under halfway through the session by a little bit, so nearly there for these drivers, just finishing up, well, not finishing up qualifying, we're sort of in 2nd or 3rd runs. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one as we start to see a range of different drivers improving now.
Yeah, especially Jordan Pinnock as well, who's currently in 3rd place. He is just a 10th and a half out of 2nd place of Aiden Larson with a 209.662. That was his previous lap as well. If there's any sort of improvement on there, at least 1 purple sector, I think that's going to definitely throw a bit of a wrench into the usual dichotomy between Lorenzo and Aiden. We're currently following Meet the Teacher, one of our debut racers, coming across here in a nice blue livery right there with the BUSR logo on there as well. Shout out. Yeah, no, and it's, goodness me, I honestly don't know what to say about the fact that we might have yet another like 3-way battle. I mean, we've had 5-way battles as well. I believe it was I think it was Croft or something. It was one race we had like 3rd place through 7th place. It was just a massive dog pile, you know, one after another. But it's just, I might be getting ahead of myself here.
No, yeah. I really hope we get a good race today. This is the only one of our circuits on the calendar that has hosted modern Formula 1. Some of the other ones have hosted Formula 1 in years gone by. Even Alton Park hosted non-championship Formula 1 events back in the 1960s. But this is a modern FIA Grade 1 full-bore race circuit. This thing has got all the bells and whistles and straights that are a lot wider than a circuit like Croft or Norris Ring. So there's a lot more potential for different lines to run here as we see them coming round the famous Petronas hairpin of turn 15 before they come down the start-finish straight. Lorenzo coming up towards the line, currently roughly running about the same lap time as before. His delta's flicking around on our timing sheets. It's a 2:09 2:01.2 for Lorenzo on that lap, so not quick enough to improve, but even that lap time would still be quick enough for pole by half a second. He has got to be feeling quite comfortable at this point, hasn't he?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, Aiden Larson has quite a nice delta right now. He's currently running at an improvement of 28 hundredths of a second, so there's a good chance he might end up improving around here, as we've got Archie O'Leary crossing the line here. No improvement to his time, but yeah, no, I think Aiden Larson's starting to figure things out a little bit, as you know. Let's see, I'm trying to look at the timetable right now, as he's gonna be coming into the next section. He's got 2 green sections, so that might put some pressure on. And the thing is too, even if Lorenzo finishes, you know, first over Aiden in second, if Aiden gets a race win and fastest lap, if Lorenzo finishes third in that hypothetical, I believe that's going to give Aiden back up in the lead. It might tie him for first at that point, as he's coming around that big old hairpin as well. I'm curious to see what this is going to go, but the delta has been promising to him, as it looks like, oh my god, he might improve by half a second. Let's see what happens on here. He's definitely going to improve.
There's a 2:09.2 from Aiden. That gets him about 2/10, maybe 3/10 closer to Lorenzo, but he still can't quite find that last little half a second. I say little half a second, it's half a second, but it's a long lap. It's 5.5 kilometers, 15 tricky corners across this lovely piece of Malaysian tarmac. So half a second is definitely doable across that whole lap. But that was a quick lap from Aiden, but not a purple lap. He needs to be putting in purple laps. I mean, we're going to see other cars doing quick laps, but I don't think those two are going to be challenged here. Vienne Tran currently in not a great position, set to 2:20.8 across the line, so not great from them. Here we see Jordan Pinnock, one of the up-and-coming stars of the series, running no ballast. Like we said, didn't have the best start of the season, missed a few rounds. Currently now running very, very quickly. Has a 2:09.5. What a lap from Jordan Pinnock. Very much well. Feels third place ahead of Dak Joy. That is a driver to watch right there with no ballast.
Yeah, and it's, you know, he was sidelined in the previous race due to some form of illness, I think. Might have had a bit of a headache over there, but yeah, no, I believe that was a green sector too, so that's you know, a very good very good sector of the race. Even just improving on one sector can improve the whole lap, of course. But it's you know, it's interesting to see that he's actually keeping up quite well with Lorenzo and Aiden. As you said, he's one of our up and coming stars. He was our second race winner at Norris Ring, netting him the 20 points that comes with it. He's also in 11th in our overall standings, third place among the alumni. He has 59 points total to his name. He's finished in the top 10 5 times since he debuted in Sonoma. So yeah, and he's got a couple of sixth place finishes to net him 10 points each on that. So yeah, he's definitely a bit of a dark horse. As we've got Aiden Larson coming across the line. I'm curious to see if he's going to improve beyond 2:09. Oh, he was close though. 2:09.5. That's a very good lap. That puts him about a 10th away from Lorenzo.
He is getting closer. That Aiden is finding the magical time. His Ginetta is starting to sing to him. He's working out his lap time. He's working out his setup. He's got the lap ready. Here is Sam Knight, one of the student class drivers. Not a good lap from him, but I think he's okay with that. He's going to carry on going now and try and set a better lap time. Here we have that striking orange and blue McLaren-esque livery of somebody. I can't quite tell who it is, but they come across the line onto the grass into turn 1. That is just Man and G. Sorry for that. That is this. They're making their debut here tonight. They've set a 2-minute. Oh, they've just moved up the standings. There we go. They've disappeared. There they are. 2 minutes 16.789. Decent lap from them, but they definitely also will have more pace in them.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about Sam Knight as well. He's Sam Knight's actually he's in the back half of the pack in the overall standings. But what's important is he has gotten points in the past 4 consecutive races. We've got a 14th place finish, a 12th place finish, 13th place finish, 12th place finish. They were absolutely shut out in the first 3 sessions, and then this past 4 races they've managed to make some nice improvement. So it's like, you know, I think it's nice to shout out a racer who's kind of been in the unknown, but, you know, still had their moments. You know, guys in the back half, you know, Caleb Tate out there with 7 points. Tim Mason, I'm not sure if they're in this session, with 12 points. Ben Choi has, you know, done quite well. A couple of top 10 finishes in Norris Ring. Vian Tran as well has been getting up as well. And funny thing, Vian Tran and Ben Choi, they've both made some previous appearances before we first saw the proper names. They were just under different aliases. I managed to connect those dots today as we've got Aiden Larson coming across the line. Is there going to be a bit of an improvement? We will have to see here. No, not really.
That was a weak final sector from Aiden, and he'll know that. That was where his problem came in. So he has got 1 minute to go on the timer, which is pretty much final lap of the session for him, unless he somehow manages to warp space and time or take the shorter north or south loops. But yes, this is basically final runs. Lorenzo's in the pit lane, so he is happy with done with his time. His 2 minutes 8.869 hasn't been broken since it was set on run number 1 at the first little point, or that very first section of qualifying. So he kind of went out there, knocked it out of the park, and then sat back down and went, "Go on, try me."
Yeah, and so he's quite confident in his in that.
Aiden, a lovely drift there from Jordan. That is pretty much lap over for him and session over. He's probably gonna try and finish the lap time, but that's really session over for him unless he can absolutely nail the brakes down into the turn 15 hairpin. So that is pretty much first place set. Second place is Aiden Larson for now. He's still going around. That car is travelling as fast as it dares to break the barrier. Jordan goes completely off there. He knows the lap's over. He's pulling into the pit lane there. Here we go. Aiden Larson now, one of our championship contenders, coming around turn 9. This is turn 8 at the start of sector 3. His first 2 sector times are pretty close to his current best. So it's all down to that final sector, round turn 11, going down towards 12, and then the very fast of 13 before the heavy brakes of 14. The Aussie on the absolute limit. There's a car from the side of the road, but we don't care. We're watching Aiden Larson down into turn 14. A little bit of sliding, but manages to keep it under control. Puts the power down. Now onto the big back straight. He's just got to run all the way down to turn 15, nail the brakes, turn it in, power out, and get that lap time. Sounds nice.
His delta's looking pretty good. He's at minus 18. You think it could be enough?
Looking good. His split is looking good for an improvement, maybe not of position, but definitely of lap time. If he nails the brakes and the power delivery coming out of the final corner, he might have it. Here we go.
This is going to be close.
Corner. For pole position, Aiden Larson coming up to the line. His lap time is a 2 minutes. 8.775. That is pole position on the final run. What a lap.
Holy Moses. He absolutely nailed it on that final sector. Get himself a nice purple there. Holy cow. Incredible stuff there. Saving it for last. He's done that quite a bit. Especially I think in the last race that we saw at Croft, he got he managed to take that 1 point for fastest lap over Lorenzo at the very end. Very, very cheeky, but that's telling me he knows what's going on here.
What a lap from Aiden Larson there. Got it all together in that last sector. His last sector was dominantly quicker than pretty much any final sector we've seen all day so far. Here comes Thomas Hughes, another one of our fan favourite drivers, part of the trio of Hughes drivers, across the line to finish his lap. No improvement for him, but very close. Josh Hughes, the second part of that trio, pulls over, and finally Raul Yagas is crossing the line for the end of their qualifying session. That was a new best lap for them, puts them 12th place. But I mean, Aiden Larson, what a lap time. He's going to be so happy with that going into race 1.
Yeah, exactly. That means that he gets that point back that he lost to Lorenzo in the previous qualifying. So that's definitely going to give him a bit of a boost of confidence going into this race. So, oh my God, he just made it real right there. Just when you thought Lorenzo had it all set up, he just comes in and, oh man, just proves him wrong.
Pole by 0.094 seconds. It's the tightest of margins for the tightest of championships. Dak Choi, the last driver that could spoil the party at the top, only their delta is looking very weak. So I think they're just going to drive around to the pit lane in third gear. That is qualifying as good as over for round number 6 of the BUSR Winter Series at the Sepang International Circuit. And what a session. We thought it was done after 1 lap, but never mind. It's been a big shift in terms of the order right at the end.
Yeah, so Aiden Larson with 6 points. Lorenzo gets himself 5. Jordan Pinnock in third place gets 4 points in the standings. Dachkoy gets himself 4. Josh Hughes gets himself 2. And John B, the 6th place finisher in quali, gets an extra point as well. Absolutely cracking stuff. And I believe, didn't I say that whoever's winning qualifying was going to do so by less than a tenth?
You very much did, and I hate to admit it,
Yes.
you are very much right. That is polled by 0.094 seconds. That is the prediction of the day, and we've only
Wow.
So very well done to Aussie there.
Apollo has gifted me with the gift of prophecy, I guess.
Very much so. We've got 2 races coming up, so don't go anywhere. If you came for qualifying and left, you do you. If you came for racing, don't worry, it'll happen in the next 5 or so minutes. We're going to have 2 20-minute races, which given lap times will probably be between 8 and 9 laps of this wonderful 5.5 kilometre circuit. However, both of these races are plus 1 lap. So after the clock hits 0, the drivers will have to go once more around the circuit to get to the checkered flag. And of course, we cannot forget about the forever entertaining second race reverse grid. So the top 10 finishes in race 1 are reversed for race 2, which always provides extra carnage, especially given the tight, twisty nature of turn 1 and then turn 2.
Yep, and especially considering the results that we have just seen out of that absolutely incredible snub there at the end by Aiden Larson, I am excited to see what battle is going to take place for first place. Every time that we have seen Aiden and Lorenzo going into each other, it has always been something to talk about. It just absolutely takes the entire grid by storm. And in a track like Sepang, like as you said, has wider straights than you would normally see in a GT4 race. There's incredibly limitless opportunities to overtake, especially at those big 2 straights around the Petronas hairpin. So I honestly don't know if I can even make a prediction at this point, but I think it's still going to be just as close as it was in qualifying.
Definitely. This is one of the standout tracks of the season. Tracks like Norris Ring stand out because they're weird. Tracks like Croft and Alton Park stand out because they're technical and they're windy. Tracks like this stand out because they're flipping wide. You could easily go 4 Ginettas wide down, like Ozzy said, the 2 straights of either side of the Petronas hairpin, which means that overtaking into those respective turns 1 and then turn 15 is going to be rather interesting because there's so many lines you can run through the wiggly sectors of the second half of Sector 1 and then all of Sector 2 and the first half of Sector 3 are all very windy but very wide. So if you want to run a tighter line, short on that distance, that's an option. If you'd rather run it more traditional, you can run that. Or if you'd rather run it super wide, keep the speed up. There's so many options, which means overtaking is pretty much guaranteed, at least for the first half of the race.
Yeah, but, the overtaking is one thing, but getting themselves a cutback, I think that's going to be an opportunity quite a few races are going to be looking for, vary the timing on the brakes and then just seize an opportunity, just go right out of nowhere just to get that place back. And I think that's going to be a strategy we might be seeing a little bit in the battle between Lorenzo and Aiden. And now that Aiden has won this qualifying and has gained a point back, what this means is that if Aiden wins this race and also takes home fastest lap, regardless, even if Lorenzo finishes in second place in this race, Aiden will take over first place in the overall standings.
That's what's at play here. That is how close this season is. We've had 6 rounds. We've got 2 after today, and we're still talking about championship points being decided by the tiniest of margins. And I'm all here for it. The cars are on the grid, so we will be going racing in the next few minutes, so please don't go anywhere. It'd be really weird if you left just before the start of the race rather than just after it. But yeah, a thrilling 20-minute battle is coming up. Aiden versus Lorenzo on the front row. Prediction-wise, I've got no idea. One of the 2 of them, unless we have an incident. But I could not split them.
There's definitely going to be some interesting things to look at as well throughout the entirety of the grid. Of course, Jordan Pinnock, one of our dark horses. Dachkoy, who has been having a great season as well in 6th place, 3rd among the open registration. I believe, Kessis finished in 8th place in quali, if I can... If I can just double
Kessis on
check that. Yes.
I figure 8 on the grid for Kessis.
Yeah.
Ahead of Alex Hughes and behind Archie O'Leary.
Yeah, and actually, that's kind of how it's been. Kessis is sandwiched between Tom Hughes and Archie O'Leary on the overall standings as well. Kessis at 121 points. Thomas Hughes has done great, leading the alumni at 123. Archie O'Leary at 100 points to round out the top 5. There's still so much in terms of positioning to play for, and I think the alumni class, if Tom just has one bad race and Josh manages to pick up so many points, like if Josh wins and Tom is like outside of the top 15, that's going to throw a wrench into things as well. And doing that to your own cousin too, that's got to be quite a kick in the.
These Hughes are all related. They all know each other personally. They all spend their races in the same call together. Sometimes they strategize to work as a team. Sometimes they don't, and it's going to be it varies depending on their mood. So we'll have to see what happens as we go forward now. Lights are nearly ready. We've got all 18 of our starters on the grid for round number 1 of the day. Rock and roll. Let's go racing at Sepang. Good start from Aiden there, pulling ahead of Lorenzo, who comes cutting across to get back in the slipstream. We are going 1-2, our nose to tail, but Jordan Pinnock is coming around the outside into turn 1 there. We're now 3 wide on the brakes between Aiden Lorenzo and Jordan Pinnock into turn 1. Aiden holds the inside. Jordan trying to run the outside. Can't make it stick. Can he get the cut back into turn 2? No, he appears to have dropped too far down. There's lots and lots of cars going side by side in the midfield. Everyone appears to have kept it reasonably clear. The change for the lead. We didn't catch that on the broadcast there, but Aiden is now in second place. Lorenzo has snuck through after merely 2 corners, that qualifying lap, all for naught. What a start from Lorenzo. Aiden now being harassed behind. He's got a little bit of a gap actually, but Jordan Pinnock is definitely where he's behind with Dak Choi and Archie O'Leary so close to his rear bumper. But what a great start from Lorenzo, and what a disappointing start from Aiden.
Well, it's still, I wouldn't say that qualifying was for naught. Remember, if Aiden manages to stick it out, get the win and the fastest lap, like I said before, that's going to put him in first regardless of how Lorenzo finishes. And it's still a lot of pressure. Aiden right now is fighting like hell to get across Lorenzo because he probably knows what is at stake. And I think that, knowing that this battle is going to be happening between Lorenzo and Aiden, I think that is going to be driving Jordan Pinnock to try and take advantage of the 1v1s that we're going to see. Of course, Lorenzo still purple between those 2 sections on our timetable as well. Meet the Teacher, we got in 9th place, one of our debut racers as well. Still so close between the 2 as we've got, I think that's Adam that's gone off track. Yeah, our race, goodness gracious. No shortage of that for poor Adam Bent, man.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact with Raul Llagas that put that car into the wall. Here we go. There's a car spun on the exit of turn 14. That is John B. One of our, he's been a variable driver, but has had some moderate success, but not quite the lap. Aiden can't find the move at turn 15, but he is stuck to the back of that car like glue right now. Lorenzo trying to run to the best of his ability, obviously gets the fastest lap because it's only lap 1, but it's still mightily close. And Jordan Pinnock is not being left behind like we thought he might be. He is sticking around with these 2 and slowly pulling away from Jack Choi, which is definitely going to be interesting. Will we see a 3-car fight for the lead, or will this settle down into a 2-car fight for the lead and then Jordan Pinnock running around on his own? We'll have to wait and see. 17 minutes to go. We've had 1 lap of this really quite long circuit, but we're going to keep evolving as we can see how this race evolves now as the drivers start to settle into a rhythm.
Yep, and Jordan Pinnock, definitely could be a wise strategy to buy time and, let the 2 championship leaders fight it out, take advantage when the time is right. We've seen that so many times with a lot of battles where we've got 2 cars fighting for 1 position. They both manage to make contact with each other. It compromises both their races. And then the person who was behind them both manages to take advantage of everything. As we've got Thomas Hughes currently in 10th place. And he's fighting for it with Eric Anderson here in 10th place as well as they've gone side by side. I think we got a car that went off track right there. I'm not sure who that was. Looking back at Thomas Hughes, still has Anderson right on his tail. Might have been a slight bit of contact. There was on the table here going into the next couple of sections here. Quite a big quite a big battle here as well, because, you know, reverse pole grid, 10th place will be in pole for the next race, pardon me, you know, when all is said and done here. And it's really good to see we've got a little bit of separation between some of these two cars. Well, not just those two cars, but a lot of the pairings as well, as we've got Josh Hughes on the back of Archie O'Leary for 5th place. That's definitely got some points going on. Aiden Larson still keeping the pressure up on Lorenzo Gualtieri going into the final Petronas hairpin of this lap. Jordan Pinnock keeping at a safe distance, and it looks like Aiden might be trying a move on the inside. Is it going to work out? It looks like they're going to be going side by side. It looks like for the time being Lorenzo is going to pull away, but Aiden Larson has less kilos of ballast, and Aiden's got the fastest lap. That might end up being a difference maker here as they're going into the next couple of turns. What's going to happen here, as they might be going side by side? Lorenzo trying to take the inside line, but Aiden is going to be trying to claw back. Might see a cutback attempt on the next couple of turns here, as Lorenzo taking the inside lane on here. No, it's going to be held off for the time being. Aiden, that was a nice move to at least let Lorenzo know, I'm here, I'm trying to get that first place overall in the standings. And, you know, just remind him real quick, that qualifying lap is going to go ahead and bite you. As Jordan Pinnock as well, it should be noted, had a faster lap this past, faster section in section 1 than both Lorenzo and Aiden, so he definitely made up some time on the both of them. Josh Hughes still on the back of Archie O'Leary coming around the next couple of turns. Archie trying to just lose Josh. He has been quite the racer here. I believe Josh has a win at Sonoma as well. Going into the next couple of turns here, I believe that's a big little, oh no, not the straightaway. I might be trying to just get the layout of this track here, but yeah, no, Josh Hughes still trying to fight for that 5th place. Archie putting a couple of moves on. Big hairpin right there going into the next section here, and Jordan Pinnock has a purple sector 2. He is making up significant time on Lorenzo and Aiden while they fight it out. This actually, oh my goodness gracious, we've got ourselves a race, ladies and gents.
There is definitely going to be some action going forward. This lovely wide track giving us a lovely wide range of options for lines. Here we go, the leading trio. They're still nose to tail at the front there. There's not much of Malaysia that Aiden can see. He can mostly see the back of the Ginetta. He's making the move, dummies to the outside, goes up the inside, later on the brake, sends it, and there's contact between our championship leaders front to back. There was a big old shunt, but luckily most of them kept together. But look who's snuck into the party. Jordan Pinnock has arrived well and truly onto the scene and is now right up in front with these.
Yeah, oh my goodness gracious.
This is going to be close. Lorenzo is now in an awful sandwich of racing going into turn 1. There's a little look up the inside, doesn't make any moves.
Oh,
Jordan keeps it going. There's a spin from Aiden. That is race lead forfeited. That means now Lorenzo's now fighting Jordan Pinnock for the race lead. There's a stake from Aiden, very uncharacteristic of him. He's normally such a flawless, perfect driver in terms of car control, but just has such an unfortunate slide there. Loses the rear end into turn 2 and is now in 3rd place. What a disaster for Aiden.
Not necessarily, if you think about it. I mean, yeah, definitely a bit of oversteer causing him to slide on that car, but now he's in the position that Jordan Pinnock was in before. There's a little bit of pressure taken off. I mean, given that, you know, Lorenzo can definitely get more points added to the lead as a result of this, but Aiden is now biding some time to see how Jordan and Lorenzo take each other on, especially considering that Jordan, you know, he was in that previous spot as well. He bided his time. He managed to get into that slipstream quite effectively, as we've got to look at Thomas Hughes as well, who is behind Meet the Teacher for 9th place. But yeah, no, Jordan Pinnock might be, yeah, he's still a dark horse. He's been absolutely smacking in this first race. He had a better lap than both Lorenzo and Aiden, of course, due to there was a little bit of collision. I doubt it was, I doubt it was intentional, but you know, it's racing. You know, things happen.
Yeah, there's always going to be mistakes. These people are not professionals. They're not robots. They are human beings. Quite a few of them are tired, bedraggled, mid-November university students. So that is also not going to help. Here we have a battle at the back of the top 10. Meet the Teacher versus Thomas Hughes Both these cars running ballast. Thomas with the higher ballast because, of course, he has had success, whereas Meet the Teacher is running first appearance ballast. Here we go, down turn between 14 and 15. Meet the Teacher probably a little bit too far back at this moment to have a look, but that's someone who isn't too far back to have a look. There's Archie O'Leary and Josh Hughes having a fight there. Josh managing to, not managing to make the overtake. Archie staying ahead and going, no, Archie's going to hold that position actually as we come across the line there. We've seen great lap times from our front runners here as we see everything is kind of sort of settling down. Who am I kidding? It's not settling down, it's still absolute chaos. We've got Aiden Larson in third place behind Lorenzo and Jordan. There's no way that is going to be definitely the final order now. We're focusing now on the battle for 5th and 6th. I should stop talking about the leaders.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very impressive stuff to look at as well. And noting that Jordan Pinnock just got another purple sector 1. That's incredible stuff right there. Still got a battle going on. Josh Hughes in the back of Archie O'Leary. I'll guarantee you, Alex, looking at the back of him, is definitely just waiting, trying to wait for some mistake to happen. I mean, Alex, I think, has done it before as well. It definitely is fresh in my memory in the last couple of sessions. Josh trying to get some distance over against Archie O'Leary. A little bit sketchy coming around that turn there. Just wondering if, did they go off? Did they not go off? But it's, that's just me kind of just wondering what the heck's going on there. Coming around, big hairpin as well. I guarantee you Josh is going to try to make a move within the next few turns, if not the rest of this lap. Staying at the back of Archie, continuing to just hold that line as well. There's that nice little camera angle, Archie driving over us. And, oh man, I'm stumbling over myself a little bit today. But, yeah, we've got Aiden at the back there. He is... Oh, wait a minute. We got Aiden. He's gone side by side with Jordan Pinnock.
It's a battle for second place, isn't it? We've got Aiden looking at the inside into the hairpin once again on Jordan Pinnock. Different white car, same Aussie driver making the move at the inside. Makes it stick. A little bit of a twitch. Gets the cut back for Jordan Pinnock there. And now side by side, these guys are friends in real life and do a lot of racing together, so they will know exactly how the other one drives, which is only going to help Jordan, well, it's only going to help Lorenzo, for being honest, with the three of them. But here we go, down towards turn 1 once again. We've got under 10 minutes to go. Where has the time gone? Aiden's looking up the inside. Can he make it stick this time without losing traction on the rear for second place? That appears to be position signed, sealed and delivered, even with the ballast difference between these two cars. He still has got up into second place. Now he's got to go and chase down that big 2-second gap to Lorenzo, or else that points gap will only increase at the front. It won't increase by much, it'll only increase by 3 points, but it will increase if he can't catch up.
Yeah, but if Aiden Larson manages to get the fastest lap as well, as it gone briefly off track there, if he manages to get the fastest lap of the session, he'll still get that extra point back as well, and I think that's going to be a big strategy if the lead becomes too insurmountable, and if he manages to somehow lose Jordan Pinnock, who's just absolutely given these two a little bit there. Purple sector 1 for Aiden Larson going into the next couple of sections here. I'm trying to find the two of them on the track there. There they are, about to finish sector 2, going into the next turn there. Lorenzo about to finish off. I bet you he's going to make some improvement. No, it looks like he's gone orange on that. And Aiden a little bit worse off there too. But I mean, it's still time that he's managed to make up there as well. Still 7.5 minutes left to go in this first race, as Alex Hughes manages to take the purple sector 2 as well. He's trying to make up some time against Josh Hughes and Archie O'Leary. So we've got some improvement near the middle of the pack, back half of the top 10. So definitely some interesting developments there. Could be a bit of a mass little makeup of time between the back half and the front pack.
Definitely, and then right now, just watching what's going on, Aiden Larson is going to be thinking to Jordan Pinnock, could you please just make a mistake and fall back? Because he has not been able to find the time he needs to close to Lorenzo, because he's having to watch his mirrors so much, because there is such an aggressive, well, we've seen very quick Jordan Pinnock behind. Lorenzo pulled the gap out even more on that last lap now. The gap getting very close to 3 seconds, which is monumental. If you've looked at the rest of our races, a monumental gap. There we go, fast new PB for Alex Hughes. Not an overall fastest lap, but a very quick lap. So that's a cart to watch as we come towards the end of this race. Aiden, though, is going to be annoyed that Jordan's there. He'll be happy that his co-driver in our series is on the podium. He just wishes that he wasn't the one having to worry about Jordan being on the podium right behind him. He cannot afford to lose those championship points between third and second now with the gap so small.
Yeah, and it's also got to do with the ballast as well. Aiden Larson running a 66 kilo ballast compared to his no ballast whatsoever for Jordan Pinnock. As we're taking a look at Josh Hughes, still is at the back of Archie O'Leary. Alex Hughes been making up quite a bit of time, has less ballast than the both of those two drivers as well, as they are just, oh my goodness, nose to tail as well in that mid pack. We do love ourselves a nice little battle in the middle to back half of the top 10, as it looks like there's more time being made up here going into the next couple of turns. Alex is not letting up, taking advantage. They might be going 1, 2, 3 into this next chicane. They are. Alex is looking for a line. I guarantee you he's looking for some way to get around, as he might be going side by side now with Alex now. The cousins going at it here. And it looks like, yeah, a little bit of jostling here, but it's going to be Alex taking over 6th place. So Archie might be able to take a little bit of advantage off of there. He's now got about a second of a lead. But if Alex can make up that time, he could easily take 5th place here. Quite a nice battle here between Alex and Josh Hughes. Yeah.
Epic slide there for the green car. Now, these guys are running teammate liveries. They are, as we have said, related, but that is not going to stop them from fighting tooth and nail right to the very end of this race now. Is there going to be a move thrown up the inside into turn 15? Yes, there is. There's a tighter line for the red car over the green one. Now they're side by side coming down the start-finish straight. Who will be in front? It appears to still be Alex over the line ahead of Josh. The gap well under a tenth of a second there over the line. They're side by side into turn 1. Josh having a look up the inside. Later on the brakes, makes it stick. Alex having to run the outside for turn 1, but he's going to have the inside line for turn 2. Will that be enough? No, he bails out of it. That is move retaken for Josh Hughes, who is now going to go and have another crack at getting past Archie O'Leary for 5th place. Just a word on Dak Joy, having a very anonymous race in 4th place, but very happy with it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I would imagine as well. You know, it's still a lot of points to get up in that grid. You know, Datchko's been, having some great success as well, staying in the top 5 in a lot of these races. They would love to crack the top 5, I guarantee you. Get some more points against Archie O'Leary, who is 1 place ahead of them in the overall standings. So that definitely, yeah, I think you could definitely be content with that. Of course, you can also, wonder what else could have been, if, one thing didn't go wrong. Which I doubt it did. He's probably done quite well. As, we've still got a couple of purple sectors as well in the top 3 here. Jordan Pinnock went purple again in Sector 1. Aiden Larson gone purple in Sector 2. They are both having quite some impressive deltas, especially Aiden. We had Raul Yegas over there, I think, gone off there. Yes, that was.
Raul Yegas and Meet the Teacher and Eric Einerson all getting caught up in each other. Now, just a word that we haven't mentioned all race. It's been such a good race for the last 17 minutes that there is reverse grid pole position to fight for, currently being held by Eric Einerson. There's Adam Bent in the back of the top 5th, currently in 14th place, looking at the inside on Ben Choi there, following Meet the Teacher through. All of these guys are in contention, really, for that reverse grid pole position, which is for 10th place. So that is what those guys are aiming for. New fastest laps coming all over the board here.
Wow!
Top 3. So that is a lot of very quick laps for those drivers. They're all pushing their absolute limit. Gaps stay relatively stable though. We're watching Adam Bent pushing Ben Choi a little bit wide, but not too wide, to take that place. There's a good amount of battling between these two guys, even though it's only for 13th. There is still overall, and there's a spin for Ben Choi there, and sealed for Adam Choi. Ben Choi. Adam has sealed the position. Ben has spun and hit the wall. So that is, Adam is pretty happily safe now in 13th place. He's now got to go and catch Meet the Teacher up ahead to get 12th place. Like I said, there are overall points on offer down to 15th place. And of course, those all-important class points to play for.
Yeah, and, all the battles that we see too. I mean, every point matters when it comes down to the standings as well. Depending on where you might fall in the pack, there's always something to fight for.
Definitely. There is never a dull race there's never a dull race going on, because there's always something going on. Lovely drift there. What a move. If he didn't quite catch it. Never mind. Not a great drift from Josh Hughes. That means his 6th place gone for the F1 driver come over to the Ginettas for this season. Now he is even behind Alex Hughes, so he's dropped massively down, probably going to be somewhere towards the back end of the top 10. He might even be in reverse grid pole position if he's clever about it, but definitely not the optimal racing line there. Thought he managed to hold it, just a little bit too much throttled, car unsettled over some curbs, and Bosch, lovely slide there. Ginetta's not really built for drifting, so that was never going to end particularly well. Now coming up towards the turn 9 hairpin, I'm sure he'll be a little bit more careful now. We've got 50 seconds on the clock to go, which is going to be maybe 2 laps, because of course this is a 20-minute plus 1 lap race, so 2 laps, maybe 3, depends if Lorenzo can sneak through before the clock hits 0.
It looks like he's coming around that final hairpin as well to try and get himself another lap going on there. The gap is insurmountable at this point. He's gotten over 2 seconds on Aiden Larson and Jordan Pinnock, but right now Aiden has that fastest lap point, so that is going to at least minimize the damage unless Lorenzo manages to absolutely pound it in the final couple of lap times. Get himself past the current time, which is 2 minutes, 8.909 seconds. He did get one faster than that, if I recall correctly, but at the same time, Aiden in qualifying had a 2:08.775 to take the 6 points that come with it. And Lorenzo has, he's managed to hold on to this race championship for quite some time. He had himself a no-show in Sonoma, but Aiden Larson also had a no-show in a race, or I might be having that mixed up. I think it was Aiden who no-showed at Sonoma. But, Jordan Pinnock as well, dark horse of the race, still staying on the back of Aiden Larson, not as much of a gap as previously before. Might have been a slight mistake as well, as Aiden's delta is at about 1.75 seconds. So I think, a little bit of time being made up. So definitely a big fight for second place as well. Difference in that could be monumental as well. Jordan's just outside of the top 10 overall.
Jordan is not letting this go whatsoever. He is 66 kilos lighter, which is a lot of weight. And when you factor in that these cars weigh a little bit over a ton, it's an even bigger difference in terms of overall mass of these 2 cars. Now they're coming through around the sort of 3rd sector parts now, down towards the turn 14 tight right-hander before the long straight. If Jordan gets a good run here, you can expect a move being made into the hairpin. Lorenzo will be looking in his mirror and seeing this battle and thinking, good gosh, Jordan Pinnock is the best teammate I could ask for right now. They're not teammates, but it appears like they are, given how much Jordan is harassing Aiden. He's having a look up the inside of the hairpin, thinks better of it, settles back into formation now, runs a much tighter line that Aiden runs very, very deep in an effort to carry more speed onto the straights now. He knows he's vulnerable, he knows he's weak. Leader is on the final lap. We have got 2 minutes and about 10 seconds to go of this race now. Just 5 kilometers. That's all you have to do, Aiden, is drive 5 kilometers ahead of Jordan to seal that P2, and with it seal the valuable championship points he needs to not fall too far behind Lorenzo, who has been our dominant race leader so far, commentator's curse withstanding. There's still fights going on right now, but we are watching the fight for P2 in the race, and really it's for Jordan Pinnock to continue their good run of form. They've had good success before with podiums and a win, but they just want more podiums. They are hungry for points. We've got
and it's a great momentum as well to be carrying around, as the gap is getting dangerously close as well, although the delta's been kind of shifting, so it's tough to tell if it's going to be a bit of a gain or a bit of a loss. But for the time being, it looks like Aiden might be able to hold him off, barring some sort of massive comeback in that slipstream as well. It's it's a good stuff here for Jordan Pinnock as well, getting the points in qualifying and then getting some extra points as well with this first race as well. That's definitely gotta feel good for him.
Yeah, he's going to be over the moon with this performance. I think he's had some success in the past with various podiums, like I said, but he's never been consistently near the front. Obviously got that maiden race win in round 4, race 2, which was at the Norris Ring, so he knows he can do it, but he's never scored a podium that wasn't a race win. So this will be his first regular podium of the season, assuming he can hang on to it. They're coming now onto the penultimate straight now, the big long back straight. There's a bit of a gap forming between Aiden and Jordan, and a massive gap before Lorenzo. So I think this is pretty sealed now, unless we see any last minute dive bombs. Here we have our race leader though. Lorenzo Gualtieri has driven a stellar race all the way through from lap 1, turn 2 to the end of the race. Here we go. Winner of the first race of the day is Lorenzo Gualtieri in dominant form to increase his championship lead. Behind does come our main contender for the story, Aiden Larson in second. Jordan Pinnock with an incredible podium, had lots of pace but not quite enough to get past Aiden solidly. Here we have Dak Choi, a very anonymous race but a very successful race, their first good haul of points since Norris Ring. Archie O'Leary also comes home in a well-deserved 5th place. Kessus in their brand new livery finally got that applied to the car here in 6th place. What a livery and what a result for them. Good solid points. Eric Einerson will be your next driver across the line. There they are, coming into the last corner, keeping it nice and safe. No reason to drive too hard now. They're not fighting for fastest lap, but nor are they worried about the car behind. So here we go, across the line for Eric Einerson, seals them 7th place. A return to form for Eric, who's had a rough few rounds in the past. Alex Hughes comes across in 8th place, the highest of the Hughes team. Raul Llagas on debut comes across in 9th, and then Meet the Teacher is next in 10th place. Josh Hughes comes home in 11th place, so just outside that reverse grid pole, which does go to Meet the Teacher. John B in 12th place is a decent result for them. Series organiser Adam Benn in his new livery in 13th. Ben Choi will be next around. There they are in their blue and orange car to take 14th. And the final overall points will be scored by Sam Knight in his lovely paint-splattered livery car there. And here are our final survivors. Thomas Hughes had a rough race involved in lots of incidents, never quite had the pace they needed to regain the lost time. Vien Tran is coming across the line next, and then it will be just Manenji to finish up the race. But there we have it. That is round number 6, race 1 complete for the BUSR Winter Series, and in dominant fashion it was Lorenzo Gualtieri ahead of Aiden Larson, and Jordan Pinnock completes the podium.
Yeah, and it's going to make it very interesting in the start of the second race as well, as the top 2 spots will be held by debut racers. So that is going to absolutely make things a bit odd, as we've got a yellow flag in the final lap as well. But yeah, all things considered, quite a nice race. You know, the battle between Lorenzo and Aiden getting thrown, a little bit of a wrench thrown into it, with Jordan Pinnock managing to be quite dominant as well. And I believe that's going to be fastest lap as well for Aiden Larson, so an extra point to cushion the damage that comes with the Lorenzo wins. So only losing 2 points, all things considered. So yeah, very well done, especially for our top 15. They managed to score points, but goodness, the fact that you even finished this race, I think, should be applauded as well.
Definitely, and that means that both Aiden and Lorenzo have carried on their podium streak. Every round where they have been present, they have now scored a podium apiece, so that means that that streak can continue pretty much as we expected from Lorenzo there until the last lap of qualifying. This is what we expected him to do given his pace, so evidently that pace in qualifying translates very well to pace in the race. Aiden Larson obviously do what he does best and got the fastest lap there towards the end of the race, means he gets a bonus point for that. The championship gap is still growing though. Lorenzo is leading, he has got more ballast, but he is still growing the gap. So that is the problem really for Aiden.
Yeah, and at the same time too, it should never be lost at the fact that the positions in the overall standings could very much change on a dime as well. And at this point, as it stands, if Aiden wins race 2 with the fastest lap and Lorenzo finishes in 3rd place or worse in the second race, that will mean Aiden will take over. But given how they've both raced, a 1-2 finish could very much happen again, as it has for quite a few races as well. I believe we've seen them go 1-2, 1, 2, 3 times, now make it 4 in races alone. In qualifying, they've gone 1-2 in some order 4 times. So definitely something to watch for.
Definitely. And now we're going to have a brief intermission in our wonderful ramblings about these two great drivers to have a little view at our sponsor video from Grid Finder. There you have it, Grid Finder, our series sponsor. If you wish to get involved with us at the BUSR, then pop along to Grid Finder and see if you can find us. It's really hard to find. It's like it's a challenge. We'd love to have you here, whether you are a Formula 1 driver, an Assetto Corsa driver, an iRacing driver, or any number of other series. We run events all throughout the year, both in term time and over the two holidays at Christmas, Easter, Christmas and over summer. So we'd love to have you. Also, you may not be a racer. Your talents may lie in commentating like me and Ozzy. It may lie in broadcast. It may lie in social media. Whatever it is, there is always a place for you at the BUSR. So we'd love to have you going forwards. You don't even have to be that good. Some of the drivers here are very aware that they suck, and yet they still turn up because they really enjoy doing it. So I think it's a great place to be, no matter your skill level. And also, you get the chance to race against legends like Aiden and Lorenzo. You might not be anywhere near them, but you'll be on the same circuit as them.
Exactly, in the same ballpark as the two of them. So, that really is all that matters between them. Oh, man, I'm currently going through these race standings as well, seeing if I can update them quite quickly and see what has changed. Of course, now the gap has grown from 4 to 5 between the end of Croft and the end of the first race here at Sepang. It's definitely going to be interesting. As I talked about in race 2, Aiden needs a win with a fastest lap and Lorenzo to finish third or worse in order to take the lead. I don't think there could be a position in which they tie, but that might be if if Aiden wins without fastest lap and Lorenzo finishes third, that means they tie. So that's going to be an interesting situation if that happens.
Yes, there is definitely potential for very close and if not 0 points gap if we see, because of course this is a reverse grid race 2, which means that we've got 2 series rookies starting at the front, which is going to make it even more chaotic than it already is. Which means if you know Sepang International Circuit, you'll know that turn 1 and turn 2 are very tight in terms of their radius, so that's going to make it even better in terms of racing action and even worse in terms of crash prevention. We'll have to see how that goes. It's a pretty wide circuit, so we should be reasonably clean. However, I would never put it past this lot to find a way to crash in all new spectacular ways on lap 1 of the second race, which is starting in just 15 seconds. So please do not go anywhere. It'd be very weird if you left at this point. Meet the Teacher is your pole sitter. Raul Llagas is in second place. Alex Hughes in third. Lorenzo and Aiden are right down at the back. Rock and roll, let's go racing at Sepang for race 2 of the day. There we have it. Raul Llagas leads the rest of the pack behind Meet the Teacher away. Great start from Alex Hughes in third place.
And cue the red flag.
Here we go. Can we go through a whole race without a red flag at a race 2? It's a pretty wide track. Let's find out. They're 3 or 4 wide at the back end of the podium in the mid-pack there. Lots of contact, but no one seems to have spun through turn 1. What a clean start. A lovely job, everyone. Kessler's going around the outside of Dak Choik, which turns into the inside for 6th and 7th place, I believe that is. But that is Meet the Teacher, who has broken away ahead of Alex Hughes, who gained a place over Raul Llagas. There's cars 3 or 4 wide at the back end of the top 10. There's lots and lots of overtakes happening. So many I can't quite...
Lorenzo's made up 5 places already. He's in 6th place right now.
Lorenzo has made up a lot of places. Aiden's only in 8th place. I say only in 8th place. He's still made up 2 places in 5 corners, but he's not as far forward as we'd like. There is your man of the match so far. It's a bit early to be calling that, but never mind. We're a minute in and he's made up quite a significant number of places. His next car in his sight is the Liverpudlian car of Archie O'Leary, which is currently side by side with Eric Einarsson at the end of one of this lovely track's many straights. Aidan Larson is behind Kessers, having a think about it, but can't quite manage to find a way through. There's contact further down between Adam Bent and Thomas Hughes, hence why they've dropped out of the top 10. Here we go, Aidan having a think about the inside. Does he go for the move? He does go for it, goes quite late, but can't make it stick. Not late enough on the brakes, not close enough. Archie O'Leary and Lorenzo both having a look on Eric Einarsson there. There's a very sideways moment for a car. That's like 2 cars off. There's Archie O'Leary and Kesha's off. There's a spin further back. Can't tell who that is. There we go. Lorenzo is up to 4th. Aiden up to 6th. Lorenzo is clear, but Aiden is thinking about maybe they can move on Eric Einarsson already. There's John B behind us, and there he goes. Nice and wide for Eric Einarsson. Just opens the door very politely for Aiden Larson to make the move. They are now running 4th and 5th, and you cannot separate them at any point in this series. We're 2 minutes in, and they're up to 4th and 5th already. Alex Hughes making a move on the outside. No, it's the inside, sorry, of Meet the Teacher. No, it's not, it's the outside, which becomes the inside when they switch back. They're side by side. There's a big switch. But Alex Hughes down the main straight. Here we go. 1 lap of racing done. They are nose to tail for the lead. Meet the Teacher.
Wow.
Alex Hughes. Look who's there. Raul Llagas has not been dropped.
Yeah, and Lorenzo manages to get a purple sector 3 as well. They've gone side by side into the next turn. There's contact on the side there, and this might be a little bit cheeky. It might get Raul and Lorenzo back into conversation for the win here. I'd say cheeky, but it was more than likely unintentional. Very, very close between these 2 cars going into the next couple of turns. Lorenzo could easily make these places back up if all the jigsaw pieces fall into place. Aiden Larson still behind Eric Einarsson for 5th place. He is begging to get those points back on Lorenzo. Alex managing to take back over 1st place against Meet the Teacher. We got battles in the back half. Jordan Pinnock managing to get back up into 7th place after dropping below the top 10 going into the next couple of turns here. This is an interesting race. Lorenzo with a purple sector 1 going in to the next section here. Little bit. Oh, I think that was Josh on the outside there. The red livery right there. Aiden Larson still at the back of Eric Einarsson, who does have a 2nd place to his credit. I think was there contact? I'm not sure. Aiden trying to make a move on the outside of Eric going into the next turn. He will get the place back going into the hairpin. No contact from what I can see on that exchange there. Going into our next section here, they are making their times into sector 3. Lorenzo getting past Meet the Teacher into 2nd place. Now he wants Alex Hughes. He wants to get that sweep on the couple of races after Aiden took that qualifying point away from him. That would be big if he manages to win off here. But you know, like we've seen with Aiden Larson, he can definitely make things up here. Purple sector in this lap of sector 2 right now is Adam Bent in 17th place. He got the purple sector 2, I guess, from all of the exchanges that we've seen so far. Going into the Petronas hairpin, Alex making a move, trying to keep Lorenzo at bay. He's going to try and make a move on the inside. Thought about it, but he's not going to. Next lap, in these next couple of turns, I assume Lorenzo's going to make a move. And Lorenzo and Alex, they get back-to-back best laps. This is getting insane. They're going to go side by side into the first couple of turns of this lap. No doubt Lorenzo's going to make a move on the inside here. But that cutback, you can always wonder if it's going to happen here from Alex. Got to be late on the brakes if you want that cutback. Trying to defend on the inside. It looks like Lorenzo might have it. Next turn, they still are side by side, and Lorenzo still got the nose out. They're still side by side. Lorenzo pulls away. Alex is still on that back. Lorenzo getting from 10th to 1st in record pace. Aiden Larson has back-to-back purple sectors as well. He's not finished yet as he's on the back of Raul Llagas going into that. And he's gone off! He's gone off into the bin here! Oh my gosh, Aiden Larson, he skidded into the wall and he is outside of the top 10.
That is a massive moment in the championship for the Australian. A very, I say uncharacteristic. He did it in race 1 as well, but he's spun. He's now down below Adam Bent. He's down in 16th place. Lorenzo has taken the lead and Aiden is at the back of the pack. We are now in a championship contender sandwich, apart from Adam and Just Man NG and Ben Joy. But most people are in a championship contender sandwich here. There's a car getting out of the way for Aiden there. Lovely spin for Ben Joy. Just lets Aiden back through. Aiden needs to recover as fast as humanly possible, which is not really saying much. This is motor racing, that's kind of the point. But he's going to do it as efficiently and as cleanly as possible. A lot of these drivers will not be expecting to see him in their rearview mirror unless they're being lapped. So there's going to be a little bit of a surprise when Aiden rocks up on the back end of his next victim, which will be Archie O'Leary in 13th place. Aiden lost about 15 seconds with that spin. So not an optimal second sector for him. Lorenzo is still running away at the front. His gap now well over a second. He is checking out.
Yeah, but it's not an impossible feat for Aiden to get back all the way into second place. We've seen miracle comebacks this entire season from, cars like Lorenzo and Aiden. We saw one from James White last year after he went 19th to 4th in the ACC Championship. And yeah, no, it's not unheard of for Aiden to just continue to be consistent, get these purple sectors, and just keep making up time. He's in 14th place right now behind Kessis and Archie O'Leary, who are currently battling for 12th place going into the turns 1 and 2 of the next lap. He's got less than 13 minutes to make up this time, but it could happen. He's trying to navigate around. He's got a car on his left. He's got 2 cars up front. Is he going to make a move here? It is a dicey pack here for him to be a part of. It is too wide. It's a 2x2 going into the next turn. They shred it out into single file. Aiden makes it into 13th, overtaking Sam Knight in the process. He is behind 2 cars fighting it out for 11th place. This could be an interesting move right here. He's taking an inside line, going side by side with Kessis, who is now in 3rd place overall in the championship with their recent performance ahead of Thomas Hughes. Aiden now into 12th place. He wants Archie. He's got time to make up, and it could very well happen. Less than a second still to go, but Aiden, even in these ballasts, he has got the lines, he has got the sight, he has got the vision. He can make it happen here. Going into the next turn, Archie still ahead. The gap has shrank down to less than 0.6 of a second. If there was any time to make a move, it would be on the final 2 straights going into the next set of turns. Lorenzo still has a big lead as well, but it is ever so... Oh, it's not shrinking so well. Alex Hughes is still making up time in the Delta as well. There's time being lost a little bit on the Delta, but at this point, you can... As you said before, Lorenzo's checked out. As long as he keeps running purple laps, he is going to absolutely dominate right now. You can visibly see the difference on the timetable as well.
Absolutely. Aiden is running the best race that he can do after that unfortunate spin just a lap or 2 ago, but Lorenzo was running an absolutely perfect weekend. He got 2nd place, or not perfect, in qualifying, but then great results through both of the races. They're going to carry on now down towards the hairpin. Aiden doesn't quite make the move on Archie O'Leary just yet. He needs to be quick but patient. It's a very fine line between speed and haste, as my dad would always say. He's coming now down towards turn 1. He's got a trio of cars ahead of him. That is Archie O'Leary, Josh Hughes and John B. This would put him back up into the top 10. He's still scoring points right now, but he's scoring pennies worth of points. There's 2 cars off. That is Raul Llagas, I believe, and Eric Einerson, maybe? I'm not quite... Oh, no, it's Jordan Pinnock, sorry. That is Jordan Pinnock.
Oh, my God.
Rapidly losing places after a contact with Eric Einerson. Both of those cars running much better than they were before, who have now dropped solidly out of the podium contention. Meet the Teacher is now up to 3rd, Raul Llagas, and then Dak Choi in 5th place. That is only going to help Aiden. It brings more of his opponents closer. There we go, up the inside of Archie O'Leary. He's
into 11th place.
11th place, not quite in the top 10. I think his target's going to be the podium. That's going to be his realistic aim for the next 10 minutes. But can he get there? We're going to have to see as it unfolds. His next opponent, Josh Hughes, someone he's raced against in many series for many months. But can he get past on this occasion? A circuit we know Aiden is, well, I would say he likes. He's had 2 spins in 2 races, so maybe he's not the best with it. He just needs to go full push, hammer time, and put in 5 qualifying spec laps here. As we see Josh and John ahead fighting, is going to allow Aiden to close up even more up the inside for past John B. But Aiden closes up massively through all of this overtaking action. He is a man on a mission.
Yeah, and it's a motif we've seen quite a bit through the season, as previously stated. All these points up for grabs, and he's still 5 behind up in that championship. He has got to dampen the damage as soon as possible, and if he can somehow, it doesn't matter what place he's in, if he can crack another fastest lap, that'll help out a lot more, as he is side by side with the car of Josh Hughes, getting into 10th place, at least for the time being. He wants John B next, and considering the gaps that we've seen, as Alex Hughes is getting up against Raul Llagas and Meet the Teacher up in 2nd as well, this is getting very chaotic, as Alex is on... Or no, sorry, that was Aiden on that line there as well. Alex and Raul are going side by side here. Or no, that's Raul and Meet the Teacher are 2 debuting cars right over here. This is an impressive showing by these 2 as well. They managed to get the reverse pole, and they've held on quite well so far. As rounding out the podium, Alex Hughes has got to be, he might be checking out as well, unless he can somehow, some way catch up Lorenzo. But seeing as the gap is growing now to 5.5 seconds, I doubt that's going to happen.
Definitely. Aiden now inside the top 10, which is crucial for him, but we're watching two championship rookies fight for the final side of the podium, meet the teacher up the inside on this long, sweeping corner of turn 6 before we go down towards 7 and 8. There they are, just in front of us. Then we're heavy on the brakes and the hairpin before too long at turn 9. Meet the teacher looking up the inside. Currently, this is the fight for third place, so whichever one of these cars is ahead is the one on the podium. Blue is Meet the Teacher, white is in typically Adam Bent's livery is Raul Llagas. Here we go, Raul keeping on by a mere hair's breadth into the hairpin. There we go, keeps the position ahead, well defended. Meet the Teacher though is not backing out of this. Just a word, Aiden Larson now up to 9th. We're going to keep an eye on his progress, but we're watching the battle for the podium position because it's way more interesting in terms of position order at the end of the race. Raul Llagas is still fighting. These guys are side by side through half of the lap, it would seem, but basically nose to tail whenever they're not side by side, sweeping down towards the heavy brakes of turn 14. There was contact there between the two of them, just a little bit of side by side nudge. Both of them got away with it pretty much scot-free. They're side by side down the straight. No slipstream from Alex Hughes, no DRS, no push to pass, just a 3.5 litre V6 Ford motor hunting them down towards turn 15. Meet the Teacher holds it ahead, but on the brakes, Raul Llagas makes the move up the inside. Meet the Teacher running an interestingly tight line through the hairpin as they go now down the start, finish straight towards turn 1. Who will keep it ahead as we go forward? Sorry for cutting you off there, Ozzy, but this is just so interesting. They're coming down to the turnaround. Raul Llagas in the white car, holding it ahead. Alex Hughes is building that gap, who is himself losing time to Lorenzo. Meet the Teacher up the inside. There's a little bit of a nudge. Not sure if there was actual contact, but it was definitely very close into turn 2. They're still clean. Meet the Teacher seems to have pulled at least a little bit ahead now of Raul Llagas. They're no longer side by side. But watch out behind you two, because Dak Choi and Jordan Pinnock are coming like a freight train up behind you, and they are dragging with them. Aiden Larson is dropped back out of the top 10. Sorry, don't know what happened there, but he is now in 11th place.
Yeah, I bet might have been a tiny bit of a slide that we could have seen or not, but you know, it's at this point you just got to finish the race, man. It's, you know, it was good to see so far, but oh my goodness gracious, I feel for the man. Yes, he is having a rough day. It's not his best performance, shall we say. 2 spins has cost him it's cost him first place in race 1 and cost him a podium in race 2. He is now, he's pretty much on survival mode now. We've only got 5 minutes left. The time has flown by, as it always does at the BUSR. But Raul Llagas is look behind. Dak Choi is now under a second. This isn't gone from a 2-car battle for the podium into a battle between Raul Llagas, Dak Choi, Jordan Pinnock and Thomas Hughes. 4 cars, 1 place on the podium. Alex Hughes is pretty much clean and dry. Meet the Teacher and Raul Llagas have not had a podium because this is their first race of the season. Dak Choi has had a couple of podiums. They know what it feels like. Obviously Jordan Pinnock did in race 1 as well. So 2 podium debutants, 2 podium regulars, and even behind them we're going to start dragging people like Eric Einerson in this if they're not careful. Thomas Hughes is also an experienced person on the podium, sitting around the 4th place overall. Here we go. There's moves being thrown, but nothing sticking. It was up the inside line from the car behind Jordan Pinnock ahead of Dak Choi to get that car 5th place. This is a cracking battle between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Yeah, and it's, seems like a little bit of deja vu. You know, we've seen a race with a big battle between 3rd through 7th place as well, as Eric Einerson on the back half is still getting those personal bests as well. Action still on Raul Llagas, sandwiched between Meet the Teacher and Jordan Pinnock. Dashcoy and Thomas Hughes still big fighters. They're both within the top 6 in the podium. Top 6 podium, that's a bit of an oxymoron. Going into the next turn, Raul Llagas has a faster lap throughout this entirety of the race, as the timetable is showing right now, by 0.4 of a second. So the potential is definitely there for a podium finish, but you got to minimize the mistakes as well, as Jordan Pinnock, who's got over a second faster of a lap than the 2 of them, is trying to get closer and closer. Very much a move as possible by Jordan Pinnock, as saw him hesitate a little bit to get on the onto the right of Rao going into the next couple of turns. You gotta feel a move is going to be coming up soon. This is a very, very intense battle for 4th place alone. They're going to be heading into the next sector of the track. It looks like he's going to go inside here. Jordan Pinnock taking the place for a brief second. Definitely not going to be the end of it for these two battling it out, as Dachkoy and Thomas Hughes are fighting it out as well. Dachkoy taking 5th place ahead of Jordan Pinnock. What a nice little sneaky beaky move from Dachkoy. Very nicely done here as they're going into the next couple of turns. Jordan eager to make that place up. Dachkoy eager to get 4th place again. This is an intense battle between these 5 cars, as it looks like we've got a move on the outside. Jordan Pinnock trying to take it away on the first of the 2 straights here on this start-finish hairpin. You gotta wonder what kind of moves coming up, especially considering how wide this track is. Going in is Meet the Teacher, pulling away a bit from Rao as the other cars following along. What move are we going to see? Looks like they're going to hold the line for now. A 3 wide, now a 2 wide. Going in with Archie O'Leary, Aiden Larson, and Josh Hughes. Aiden making it back up into 9th place after that massive, massive drop-up. You got to feel for him as Archie, he's very, very much tight with Josh Hughes. This next turn is going to be an interesting chain of events here. Going in now, Jordan Pinnock managing to get 5th place back from Dak Choi, who is still ahead of Thomas Hughes by a 1/4 of a second. This is intense fighting here at the back half of the pack. We've got the top 3 pretty much checked out for now, as Thomas trying to go ahead of Dachkoy going into 6th place. Is it going to happen? They're separated by a 50th of a second. And it looks like Thomas is going to make that move. Is Dachkoy going to try something on the outside? It looks like for the time being it's going to be a no, as they're pulling behind Jordan and Rao. Still going on the outside, trying to get that centrifugal force to convert into forward velocity. It looks like it might be working for the time being. Still side by side briefly, but Thomas Hughes has his nose out now. You see a spin in the back. That's not Aiden, that's not Archie, that might be Eric, as we've got some places shifting up as well there. We had a brief look there at Ben Choi. Yeah, that was Eric Anderson, as he is now side by side here with John B. Oh no, that might have been the replay, I think.
No, that was a second spin there. He was having a very sideways moment for Jordan Pinnock in 5th place. They are chasing down Raul Yagas. Just remember, Raul Yagas is running 35 kilograms of ballast, whereas Jordan Pinnock is running absolutely nothing. So he is one of the lightest cars on the pack, and it's the lightest car in the top 10 by some margin. John B is the next car running no ballast in terms of finishing on a little bit of a slide for Raul Yagas, but manages to keep it facing the right way now. We're coming down towards the turn 15 hairpin. We've got 20 seconds left on the clock. I think Lorenzo will sneak through. Yes, they have just snuck through. We've got 2 laps to go. This one and the then plus 1 more. As a move at the inside for Jordan Pinnock, makes it stick. Lovely move. Will the switchback come? No, it won't. At least not yet. He's just got to defend all the way down to turn 1, giving a monster slipstream. So good luck to Jordan into turn 1. Meet the Teacher is still ahead. Alex Hughes is very comfortable. Lorenzo, there's the confirmation. 2 laps to go for him. 12 seconds clear, so it's pretty handily clear. Aiden up to 8th. What could have been for him? Raul Yagas in 5th place now, trying to get back into the top 4. Of course, this is his best result of the season because he's only ever had 1 other result of the season. Not really an impressive stat, but it would be a podium on debut for Meet the Teacher, which I think is the bigger talking point of the 2 cars in that top 5 that are not really meant to be there.
Yeah, and still a little bit of shifting around in the overall standings as well. And of course, the fact that Raul Meet the Teacher made, and Just Man NG as well, who's in the who's out there somewhere, made their debuts this late. It unfortunately means I can't win it overall, but what an impressive mark to make, especially for Meet the Teacher and Raul Yagas, going in, holding their all against guys like Jordan Pinnock, Alex Hughes, Thomas Hughes, Lorenzo Gualtieri. Maybe not Lorenzo, but they're still holding it their all, especially this late in the race. Going into this next section right here, we've got eyes on Raul Yagas, who is in the former livery of Adam Bent. Thomas Hughes and Dak Choi behind them. This is an incredible sight for Jordan Pinnock. Definitely going to be getting them points as well. He just cracked the top 10 with the last race, and I guarantee you he's going to be getting quite a few more with this next podium. He's definitely going to be putting some pressure on Thomas Hughes for the alumni lead.
Definitely the lovely drift there for Raul Jagas. Will they keep it facing the right way? They do. Just gets off the throttle, lets the car come round on its own. There's now 3 wide though. That means that this position for 5th place is very much compromised. Thomas Hughes is now going for it, and Meet the Teacher is also involved in this. Jordan Pinnock has got clear of to get into 3rd place, which now means that it's Thomas Hughes versus Raul Jagas versus Meet the Teacher. They're 3 wide into the hairpin. Don't forget about that car behind of Dak Choi. Aiden Larson is going to be loving watching this chaos in front of him and thinking, right, I've got 1 lap. Will I be able to catch up to them? Probably not, unless they take each other out, in which case I'll sail on through. Here we go. Thomas Hughes is now leading for 4th place. Jordan Pinnock back on the podium where he was before. Meet the Teacher, looking up the inside to turn 1. Late on the brakes, thinks the move, there's the move. Makes it stick, takes 4th place. The cutback goes to Thomas Hughes though, which means he keeps 4th. They're side by side. Then it switches back to Meet the Teacher, who gets the left. Hander's preference of being on the left side of the circuit gets the shorter line. There we go. More chaos behind. Raul Jagas just holding off a charging Dak Choi, who had a very anonymous race weekend, well, race Monday, shall we say there, but is still racing a very good race nonetheless. Lots of points for them. And look who's on the scene now. Aiden Larson has arrived in this battle pack. We're watching Thomas Hughes and Meet the Teacher battle, but we need to keep remembering that Aiden Larson is here as well, and he is rapid when he wants to be.
Yep, and especially in such a short amount of time, the pressure's definitely mounting, so he's definitely going to be going pedal to the metal. He's like, okay, I'm down this far in the standings. I've got to take a big risk, big reward, hopefully, as Thomas goes briefly off track as well. Aiden's still nipping at the back of those 3. Dashkoy getting 6th place ahead of Thomas Hughes. Aiden Larson still by about a 10th. He might go side by side. We might be seeing a 3 wide or a 4 wide going into this hairpin. Little bit of contact, 3 wide. Who's going to come out? It looks like Thomas on that angle, and he will. Aiden Larson in 7th place. Dashkoy now in 8th. Still jostling for position here. This is for 6th place. Raul Jagas still has a hearty lead as Lorenzo Gualtieri is about to make that final turn and wrap up an incredible win for the absolute madman that he is. Dashkoy getting past Aiden Larson for the time being as well. We all have... Oh, goodness gracious.
There we have it. Gualtieri has taken a dominant race to victory to seal the fabled double race win in one day, but there is still very much action going on behind him. Alex Hughes takes a very anonymous 2nd place. Still a great result for him though. Jordan Pinnock comes through to win the final spot on the podium. Meet the Teacher on debut in the series. Takes 4th place ahead of Raul Jagas, who seals 5th place just ahead of Aiden Larson. It was a drag race to the line between those 2. Thomas Hughes brings it home in 7th. Dak Choi 8th. Archie O'Leary in 9th. Josh Hughes 10th. And then John B in 11th, all coming across the line very, very quickly. Massive crash over the line there, but doesn't mind as the race is already finished. They're all absolutely fine. Here we see Kessus in that wonderful electric livery, really glad when they could get that livery working the rest of the season. Now they come across the line in 12th place. Next up will be Eric Einarson, who was running with that initial pack, but had a very unfortunate spin, which has kind of screwed them over a little bit there, but there they are coming across the line. Now Sam Knight coming across in 12th place. Good solid points for him ahead of Adam Benton, who's had a day to forget really for the series organiser. Our thanks go out to him, even if the points don't go to him very often. Just Vien Tran and Ben Choi left to go. Just Mananji has crossed the line, and it was lapped. But that is it. That is round 6 of the BUSR Winter Series done with a dominant, here we go, nose to tail between these 2. Flipping it, they're still battling going on right the way to the end for the last couple of positions from those 2. Lovely pair of results for them. They will probably not score points because some people have disconnected, so that is not a true representational finishing place. But there is our man of the day. He is undeniably driver of the day. 2nd place in qualifying by the smallest of margins right at the end. Took offence at that, evidently, and then decided to absolutely crush all before him to take the double race win. Lorenzo Gualtieri is definitely still your championship leader after 2 wins in round 6 in Malaysia.
Yep, and it
We have no voice.
That's right.
Okay, we're still going. We are still going. We're going to have interviews now. So we're going to speak to the drivers, and we're going to hope that Discord doesn't explode, because that would be really unfortunate, because they've got some juicy information. And I think we're going to have one of the standout performers of the day in first. We're going to have Jordan Pinnock, who got an incredible pair of third places. Hello, Jordan. Talk us through those two podiums.
Hello. I'm going to start this with something that I promised Adam I would do, so please don't ask questions. How to delete the internet browser history on your Wii U. This applies to the Wii U Deluxe, the Wii U Basic, and in this article you'll learn how to delete your internet browsing history. So you need to complete these steps. From an internet browser start page, tap Settings in the top right corner. Scroll down and tap Reset Save Data. Important, this deletes all saved data, including settings, history, and bookmarks. Tap OK to confirm. When you're finished, tap back or press the B button. Right, race. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know where the pace came from, but it was super competitive and yeah, just went pretty well overall, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, you got third place in quali, third place in race 1, third place in race 2. That right there, my friend, that is 34 points in 3 races. And believe it or not, after that last race, you managed to crack the top 10.
Oh, huge. I didn't know that. Yeah. That's very good to know.
Yeah, and you're actually putting up a nice little fight for the alumni class. You're catching up to Thomas and Josh in that front.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can bring it to him. I'm going to actually be here for the last 2 rounds as well, so I'm going to do my best to fight and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Do you think you will have any more pace going forward now, especially as you're starting to learn this car, or are you very much happy to stick in third place and just collect podiums while Aiden and Lorenzo knock each other to pieces?
I mean, if I can keep fighting, if I can keep finding the pace I found today, then yeah, I reckon I can win again. I'm starting to get the hang of the car and starting to figure out how to drive it. So slowly but surely the pace is coming. And if it keeps going like this, I reckon I can do pretty well.
That's great to hear. And we look forward to seeing you next time out at Jerez. Thank you for speaking to us and best of luck going forward.
Awesome. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man. Great job.
Next up, we are going to have one of our many, many users. I've forgotten which one of the 3 of them it is, but I'm sure we'll ask. It's Alec, there we go. Alex Hughes, who has done pretty well this season, got a good collection of points.
I believe this is his first interview as well.
It's a first or second win. So, yeah, definitely a decent set of results for him. But, yeah, we're going to get one of the Hughes in next.
Yes. Alpha.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Hughes. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
So talk us through those races, a class win and a good slug of points as well. How do you think that went?
It went reasonably well. I would say in the first race, I was a bit of a watermelon and kind of, I ran out of fuel. I don't know whether you noticed. All of us users ran out of fuel in the first race. So I had to pit and lose a couple of places, but an 8th isn't too bad in the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not bad at all. I mean, it's still 8 points.
No, exactly. And then, yeah, second race, started third, got up into second after a couple of laps, had a nice battle with Meter Teacher, which was good. But yeah, and then from there, Lorenzo disappeared up the road, and I just made sure to keep it clean. So yeah, no, very good race. Happy to be consistent and not spin, as I probably normally do.
Yeah, your second podium. Your second podium. Your first race win at Sonoma, I was not there for. So this is I can now say I have met all 3 users as well. So, so you've been keeping it clean pretty well so far. Right now, as it stands, you're in the top, I believe, top 4 in the student class. Aiden might run away with it, barring some catastrophe. But you've still got Archie and John B in the same vicinity as you. Do you think that's going to motivate you to continue to race faster in the final 2 races of this season?
Well, definitely. I mean, if I can keep it as clean as I did today, unlike previous weekends where I've been caught up in incidents or span, that kind of thing, if I can do the same as what I did today in the final 2 races, I think I'll be happy. Even if I aim for probably top 7 in the races, I think that'd be enough, hopefully. But obviously I'll try and beat those guys and it'll be a good battle to the end. So glad it's close because it keeps me motivated for it, definitely.
Yeah, glad to hear that going forwards. And thank you very much for speaking to us. And we will wish you the best of luck going forward to Jerez next week.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
And now we're going to have our penultimate interview. You know him, you love him. He's here every single week. Although this week you probably want to forget. It's Aidan Larson, of course. Hello, Aidan. Let's talk about race 1 and kind of forget race 2 happened, I think.
Yeah, race 1 was pretty cool. I like being at the front. It's always nice. It's clean air.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think the biggest thing was the qualifying going into race 1 and that last lap, man. You just scratched out 2:08.775, and it's another battle with Lorenzo, but you're still within range at some point. Do you think that maybe you saw where you might have gone wrong in the couple of spins there you had?
I mean, race 2 wasn't super ideal. It was okay, but I got thrown offline by one of the guys ahead of me because he took a really funny line over the curb, and I didn't really know what to do about it. So I kind of spun myself into probably the worst place you could spin yourself because it's a downhill into a corner.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
You can't really get yourself out easily. But yeah, and then crash number 2, I got punted accidentally.
Yeah.
So that just sent me further back. But, it was still fun fighting through.
Yeah, and it's always, you always have a fun time about it as well. Dan?
Are you still determined to go forth for the championship, or are you slowly watching it slip off into the distance as Lorenzo pulls out wins and podiums left, right and centre?
We'll have to wait and see, I think. I mean, right now, I will say it's not looking good. I've at least got the student championship to fight for. Thankfully, the drop rounds have put me back in the fight for that after missing round 2. But yeah, I think if everything kind of goes pear-shaped for the overall, I should hopefully at least have student to fall back on. But that's if I keep it consistent.
Yeah, and looking at how the standings have gone so far, it looks like that should be good for you. I mean, I think your biggest threat might be Archie O'Leary. He's currently second place in the student standings as well, but the gap's pretty sizable. It's at about, I'd say, 60 to 70 points. So I feel like you just keep it consistent. Regardless of how everything finishes out, you might be good.
Yeah, I'd say one way or another, probably managed to squeeze out second overall. If not, if Lorenzo makes some mistakes, which, we're not going to hope for mistakes, but they're definitely welcome. If he makes any mistakes, I might be able to take him. But the problem is he's just so damn consistent. I mean, I might have been faster in the first race, but he had the consistency because I kept spinning it on the brakes. Because for whatever reason, the brakes just aren't happy at Sepang.
Yeah, that's an F1 track for you as well. Racing in a GT, but it's still an 18-point gap, and with 4 races, 2 qualies still to go, you've still got, you can still keep on nicking at him. You do have the current lead in most fastest laps in races, so. If you keep every little bit matters, and if you keep doing it like that, I feel like it's going to be quite the battle once our final session comes around.
Yeah, if I could have done 2:08s every single lap for that first race, that would be easy. But no, not consistent enough for that. That's I mean, having done practice for the charity event Pinnock and I did on the weekend, I didn't have a lot of time to do practice for this race, so I was squeezing out as much time as I could in my practice session. And speaking of which, I couldn't believe I hit a 2:08. I thought I was hard stuck in the 2:10s, if not 2:95s.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just barely managed to find time, but very grateful for it nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, we take those.
Yeah, the extra point for fastest lap. It's always a good one to have.
It's the one you've taken the most for, so
it's keeping me afloat.
That's good. Always great hearing from you, Aidan. Best of luck in Jerez.
Likewise, guys. I'll see you there.
Yeah, take it easy.
One interview to go. You knew you were going to leave him till last. He won race 1. He won race 2. He's championship leader. Lorenzo, how's it going? You must be over the moon right now.
How's it, guys? Yeah, no, it was a good evening. It was challenging, but it was a lot of fun. Some good racing. I really enjoyed it.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like it was really the last lap that Aiden did at qualifying that really got you to lock in. An almost perfect night for you. You managed to get yourself, you scraped out 46 points. So I think that's the second most so far in a session. Aiden had a perfect first session as well, but you're now over 200 points in the championship. So how's it feel?
No, it feels good, but going back to that qualifying lap, I was saying to Aiden now, I don't know where you put that together, and you said that he didn't even break a 209 in practice, and I said neither did I, but when I saw that 288, I said, okay, that's me, I'm done, because then you just end up getting more frustrated, the more you try, the more mistakes you make, and that's the last thing you want, so it was a brilliant lap by him, and then like you say, I finally pulled off the 2 wins in one night. It's only taken me 6 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, but, you got there.
No, for sure. Yeah, we got there in the end, and that's what counts. But it's still very close in the championship. I mean, anything can happen. You guys know that. So have to focus up, and just keep up the consistency, I guess.
Yeah, no, and that's a good mindset to have as well. So looking into, so you absolutely just second race. You absolutely checked out, and the amount of places you made up in the first couple laps, did it just work out like that? Like, was it that much luck for you on that?
Look, it was a chaos start. I mean, I think we were like 4 or 5 wide going into turn 1.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, in those situations, you just, the race is long, and you have decent pace, so just don't do anything stupid, as one would say. So I did just take my time. I did have a contact with 1 or 2 people, but I suppose that's expected in the reverse grid.
It's true.
But I definitely, there always is a bit of luck that plays onto your side. But I just said, let me just take it easy and just try and take one guy at a time until we get to the front.
Yeah, and it ended up working out. You got yourself yet another win. That actually, I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins now in races for you. So that actually, this whole session, you just overtook a bunch of Aiden's titles right there, but I'm sure he'll be eager to get him right back.
No, for sure. Definitely. But also a shout out to all the other guys. I mean, Jordan was also flying. He had a brilliant race.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good. There was a lot of guys. Even Alex also had a very good race. So, well done to them as well.
Yeah, always great to have that sportsmanship. It's great hearing from you as well. Best of luck in Jerez.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So take it easy. Have a good one.
Cool, man. You too.
Yeah.
There we have it. That's the end of a very chaotic broadcast, very chaotic set of races. We are now done for round 6 of the BUSR Winter Series. We will be back here next week for our penultimate round. We're off to the sunny shores of Spain to the Jerez International Circuit. It's thank you to our broadcast staff, thank you to our race organisers and our sponsors. It's goodbye from me.
Yep, and it's goodbye from me for Chill Dan and Doomskull, our producer. I've been Ozzy Vaughn. We'll see you next Monday.
And no moment in history where I could stand and say, oh, it begins here, now.